Cancer, the first thing I want to tell you is that there's somebody who's contacting you from the spirit world. I don't get these messages often, but it's very clear it's coming through. It could be a spirit guide, could even be a past you, like a past life you that's coming through. Maybe you're receiving like dreams or some kind of random information and you're wondering what it's about. It's a past life you. It's some energy that's being carried forward into this dimension, into this realm. This reading, it seems like it's going to be kind of cool. So I don't know, if you're not into this kind of stuff, then maybe it's just not your reading. I don't know what's going to unfold, but I got some messages here that came through and I pulled some oracle cards. So we'll talk about that first and then we'll do the tarot. But yeah, somebody definitely needs to know that there's somebody from the spirit world who is with you, who is guiding you, who is protecting you. Again, this could be an angel. It could be, that's what I was getting, an angel. It could be somebody who's passed over. It's a good energy though. It's a good force around you. And they will make themselves known in some way to you. Okay, this is really beautiful. I feel like they're with you. They're going to be walking with you, holding your hand. And then I was seeing this beautiful vision of like a mother and child. I don't know if this is your mother or if you're the mother in this situation, but it was so beautiful. It was just like this serene moment where somebody was cradling, a woman was cradling a child. And I don't know, there were all these like sparkling lights in the background. I don't know. So maybe there's something there for someone that means something. Then I heard the wisdom of souls walk together. Not sure what that's about. I heard the word chrysanthemum, like the flower, chrysanthemum. And then I heard they will know what that means. Also a lotus tattoo or something about a lily. Something about a time capsule. If you have somebody that you are grieving or that you are remembering, an ancestor of yours or relative, some kind of time capsule would be a good way to commemorate this person or your relationship together. Okay, and then I saw a painted door on a house, something about like a vibrant painted door or like a deep blue or red painted door, and then a barn. Okay, so I know that seems very random, but that's what it came through. And sometimes, you know, well, pretty much every time when things like this come through, somebody inevitably says in the comments like, oh my God, that's exactly, all of those things fit for me. So, you know, if it's not for you, that's okay. Just leave it. Taurus could be significant as well. So the cards that came out for you, the energy supporting you, we have Datura and White Oak. So together, these cards are talking about protection, that you have some kind of ancestral protection against, you know, some kind of poisonous energy, toxic energy, but you need to call on your ancestors, the ancestors who are there for your highest good. Okay, so make sure you specify which ancestors you'd like to call in and work with. Okay, that they're there for your highest good. That's important. But there's something here, or maybe it's your spirit team, but there's something about you asking for some kind of, I'm hearing solace, protection, or feeling guided, ask to feel guided. I don't know what this is all about, but some kind of contact wants to be made so that you know that you're protected. Now, the clarifying cards that came out with this, we have, and maybe you want to do something around white oak, could be interesting. Okay, like, I don't know, maybe there's a white oak tree around you. We have snake with energetic movement and globe totality. So for some of you, there's something happening in the world or in your world where the energy is really getting stirred up. And I am seeing this serpent like kind of slither around in this energy, and it's like as it's slithering in this like energetic space thing, particles are like flying around in the dusk and debris and stuff, and it's, I don't know, there's something being kicked up, some energy is kicking up, okay, and you're feeling it. And you could feel a little worried, a little concerned, and I know so many of you are so strong, I really do, but sometimes, well, for most of us, all of us really, you know, it doesn't matter how much we awaken, evolve, ascend, heal. There's always something else that comes up in our life, or something else that we need to reach deep down within us and pull out and look at, put on the table and say, hey, there's a block that's been holding me back that I didn't even realize. So Spirit wants to say that there is something being kicked up, some energy for you to look at. Okay, maybe this is related to your ancestors in some sense. But don't be scared and don't worry, okay? Interesting. If some of you have Taurus in your chart, I recommend watching the Taurus reading. The energy's challenging you. We have the Ocean and Chain attachment. So the card Ocean is about deep, deep emotions. And understanding your emotions is something that Spirit is calling on you to do at this time. Because as a water sign, as Cancer in particular, wherever Cancer is in your chart, my Venus is in Cancer, you are really emotional. I mean, I don't need to tell you that. I don't need to tell you that. But the power of your emotions, like, it's part of your spiritual gift. It's not a negative in any sense. Depends on how you use it, right? But your emotions really give you a lot of information about what's going on in the world. And so it's important that you understand the power of your emotions, because that energy that comes out of your emotional state, like your emotional body or your auric field, the energy that comes out of that starts creating things around you. And so you want to be sure that what you're creating is something that you want fed back to you. Okay, so if you have some fear or worry, you could be emanating that out into your energetic field, and then it mixes with other energies over here. This person's energy, your fear energy mixes with their fear energy, or, you know, your worry mixes in with like the collective worry about the economy, let's say. I don't know. And those energies like start mixing and mingling together, and then it comes back to you, and it's like even intensified. It feels like it's doubled now. Does that make sense? I hope this does. Spirit's got me going down this, I don't know, it's kind of abstract plane with you, but there is an emotion that you're kind of chained to, or maybe it's like an outside emotion that's really affecting you, the collective and what's going on in the world, or it could be a family member, you know. Some of you have lost somebody recently. There's some grief I'm feeling here. Or maybe it's a part of yourself you're grieving. And I feel like Spirit, or whoever it is that's here with you that wants to, you know, guide you, just wants you to acknowledge the power of that emotion. It's not to say like you shouldn't feel like that, or you know, it's bad to grieve and you should get over it and blah, blah. No, that's not what Spirit's saying. Spirit is saying, just know how much power that emotion has. And that's it. That's it. So when you're grieving, crying, upset, angry, whatever, you know, just know that there's a strong resonance that you're of that energy that you're putting out into the environment. And just be aware of it. And that awareness alone will help you in some way. Okay, so I'm going to pull out an oracle card to see what the spiritual message is, and then we'll do the tarot. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Andy. As you can see, I don't know, I do things a little bit different here. I just go with what my intuition is telling me to do. It's not always dependent on the cards. Sometimes I channel messages. Sometimes things happen that are really weird in the reading. I'm hearing this. A light will go out. I think that's only happened once. A light will go out. Okay, maybe a light's going to go out. I don't know. Maybe you had a light go out. And Spirit wants you to know that that's something that you should intuitively pay attention to. Okay, let's see. Cancer. What's the spiritual lesson here for Cancer? Or lesson seems a little harsh. What's the spiritual message? into the woods. Things may seem scary at the moment, but your path is clear and your angels are near. See? Yeah, there's some fear energy, but it's not like you're walking around like, ooh, I know that you're a strong person. A lot of people look up to you and they see that part of you that is just like bold, fierce, knows what they want, But even the strongest of us have our own fears. Okay, and our fears are here to teach us things about ourselves and about others too in the world. So it's okay to go there and tap into that possibility, right? That could be happening for you, that something is actually scaring you. What are you scared of at the moment? And, hopefully it feels like nothing. Hopefully it does feel like nothing. But most of us are still working through some kind of childhood stuff where we were scared of something and now it's like been stored away somewhere, So think about it. Some of you are fearing something around love. Not all of you, but I'm feeling that. Your path is clear and your angels are near. Yeah, but it's like this emotion, whatever it is, it's like you feel chained, like you can't walk down this path. But the world is waiting for you. Some of you want to have some kind of public presence, or music stopped. Interesting. 11:33 on the clock. Some of you want to have some presence online, but you're nervous of that. Maybe you're nervous that like you won't be heard because the music just stopped there. Okay? So maybe there's also something about needing some quiet. Interesting. So the music I'm listening to is this third eye. Open your third eye in 5 minutes. Something about that, or the number 13 could be significant. Okay, let's keep going into the tarot, but there's something about that music stopping. That's a message. Here I thought a light was going to go out. Okay, let's see, Spirit. But now I'm really like gazing into this image. I'm really focused into this. I feel like I'm scrying into the image a little. Hold on. I'm hearing Peggy's Cove. That's very specific. That's in Nova Scotia, Canada. Maybe that was a message for someone. It just started up again. Okay. Or something about a lighthouse. We've had so many readings for you, Cancer, that were about lighthouses. I don't even know. Some of you, there's something about Los Angeles. Okay. 10 of Swords for your current energy. Well, no wonder there's this heavy emotion. And no wonder that there's somebody here in the spirit world wanting you to connect with them, because you've had some painful ending. I'm hearing shards of glass. Yeah, this message has come through before for Sagittarius, but if you break a glass or a mug or something here breaks around you, don't be upset about it. Take it as a form of protection, okay? It's like a whole bunch of energy was coming your way and the glass absorbed it and broke, okay? So don't worry about things like that. It's okay. All right. So you've had a difficult ending. Betrayal. Some of you are, now obviously this is not going to be for everyone, but some of you are having some feelings around children, or maybe it's your childhood. There's some difficult feelings around that's happening, or you're grieving something related to children. Okay, let's see. What is this ending, difficult ending that Cancer's had? Now, notice in the 10 of Swords, this beautiful sun rising. So while the 10 of Swords is painful, it's also the ending. It's also the dawn of a new day. But the Ten of Swords can be really difficult because it asks us to accept the ending of something. And because it's swords, our mind, it could be very hard to mentally accept that something has come to a close. A chapter of your life, a relationship, a job, a hope, a dream, whatever. But the sun is coming up. Oh, the color scheme actually really matches that eye. I'm just looking at, maybe there's something about sun gazing that could be helpful for you. Knight of Cups. Okay, let's see what else. Why is this Ten of Swords here? Knight of Cups. And the Four of Pentacles. You're keeping yourself protected, that's for sure. Somebody approached you, or you're anticipating someone approaching you, and you're really like closing yourself off from this. And Cancer, I want to say, I actually, like, you know, sometimes depending on the message, it's not advisable to close yourself off. But I think you are making the right decision here, because the way that he's holding this cup, I don't like it. I'm not getting a good vibe from it. It's almost like he's about, it's like a flamethrower, but it's water. But you know what I mean? It's like about to be thrown at you. You could feel ridiculed in some sense, or somebody's emotionally dumping on you. They're chaining their emotions to you, you know? And I feel like you're doing a really good job protecting yourself from this. Okay, and maybe you need to know that you are protected and that you do have the appropriate boundaries up, so that you don't have to like focus so intently on that situation or that person or whatever's going on over here. You know, trust that you're doing the right things and you don't need to constantly put your attention on it. Now, depending on where you're at, it could be very difficult to switch your focus, but Spirit really does want you to see the path that is waiting for you, because it's like, you know, you have a new path and you're at the beginning of it, sitting there protecting it so this energy doesn't follow you down, but you're already protected, right? So you need to walk down the path. Okay, so let's see what your opportunity is. Whoa. Seeing Temperance there. What's Cancer's opportunity? No matter where Cancer is in your chart, the Chariot, this is your higher self coming through. This is your major arcana card. The opportunity is not only to walk the path, but to get into your chariot and go quickly, lightning speed, down the path into the woods. You're protected. Going into the woods alone can be scary. But Spirit's saying you have all your battle gear, you have all your armor, you're well protected, spiritual armor. Okay, to see the canopy here with the stars, you're guided by Spirit, the stars. Maybe it's even astrologically appropriate for you to make a move right now. Okay? And then you have these two beautiful unicorns guiding you. Forces of the light and forces of the dark coming together with this yin and the yang symbol here to help move you forward in a balanced fashion. So your opportunity is to go down into the woods, even though it seems scary. Okay, so if you've been thinking about moving, it's time to go. If you've been thinking about getting a new career, it's time to start doing that. I'm hearing legwork about it. If you feel like you're wanting to leave something behind, but you're chained to it, you can go. I feel like it's just a matter of you knowing, well, what is a matter? Death. This is about you being more invested in your transformation and what's going to happen when you close the door than you being caught up in the actual closing of the door. And you being caught up by still looking at what the ending is. You know, when you get more excited about what's to come and who you're turning into and how you're transforming, it will be easier to have faith and trust that Spirit is guiding you. Okay, and that you are doing what you need to do right now, and you're right where you should be. You're right where you should be, and Spirit's saying, it's time to go further now. It's time to keep going. Don't stop here. Don't turn around. Keep going. Nothing ever stays the same, Cancer. And we can take that as something that saddens us, like, oh my God, I'm enjoying my life right now and it's not going to stay the same. We can have that perspective, or we could have a perspective like, wow, the world and life is so mysterious. Nothing ever stays the same. Like, it's going to be so exciting to find out who I am 5 years from now. When you have that perspective, then you open so many more pathways and doors for yourself than if you sit in a place of worry, like, oh, I have this security now, or I have this relationship now and it's ending, it's over, it's leaving me, and oh my God, or like, or I'm in this and I love it, but it's not going to last. I know it, you know, that kind of snowballing of energy, it puts you on the wrong path. Okay. So let's see. The Chariot. Why is the Chariot your opportunity? Because of the Hanged Man. Yeah, because you are right where you need to be. The Hanged Man is not just a card of being stuck. It can be read that way for sure, depending on the context and all that. But it's also a card of needing to take a break, needing to make a sacrifice in order to gain a higher perspective, to gain new knowledge. And sometimes that means putting yourself on the outs, so other people don't really agree with you, but you know what you need to do for yourself. You need to remove yourself. You need to stand behind your own beliefs. You need to put up your boundaries. And like I said, Spirit said, that's great. You're exactly where you need to be. But now the Chariot's coming in as your opportunity because you've been here long enough. You do have the new perspective. You just haven't really acted on it yet. Or the action is a little bit slow at this time. But keep going. And I'm not saying you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs doing nothing. Of course not. You're doing a million things, I'm sure. But this is more about like your soul and the doubts that creep in. It's like you have to tell yourself, like, I'm on my path and it's challenging, it's difficult. I may want to give up sometimes, but my angels, my guides, my spirit team, my loved ones, my relatives who have passed over, whatever, like, they're here with me. They got me, because they do with the white oak. You're protected. And you don't need to hold on to any energy that is keeping you chained, prisoner, enslaved, stuck. Somebody could be playing on your emotions to keep you stuck, you know? So be mindful of that, because you're not here to live their life, right? To be a pawn in their game. Or maybe not. Maybe it's not even a pawn, but a character in their movie. You know what I mean? Because it's serving them. So you got to break that chain and be the lead in your own life. Okay, so what's the block here for Cancer, Spirit? The block for Cancer. The Lovers. Well, whatever's keeping you a little bit changed. Interesting. Chained. Well, you're kind of tied to this. And if it's not love, that's fine. It doesn't need to be. But the Lovers card is also making like a very profound decision that you know is going to change your entire life. The Lovers card is also about accepting knowledge. Okay, it's like someone gives you that apple, right? And you say, yes, I do want to know. I want to know the truth. I want to know my life story. I want to know my potential. I want to know what magic is in the woods. I want to know. And so Spirit's saying, do you want to know? All you have to do is say it to Spirit. I want to know. Show me the way. The Lovers. Guide me. Okay? Because I feel like you have to come to that place within, that resolve, that you're ready to release the chains and the ties and all this stuff. You're ready to release it. And that can be really hard. It's not because you're weak or anything like that. There could be so many reasons why you feel like you can't get out of this. And one of those reasons, and this happened to me too, was that I was so identified with an old self that I didn't even know who I was becoming and who I could be. I had just had that mentality of the world's against me, and, I don't give a shit about anyone, all of this kind of stuff. I was really tied to that persona because it kept me safe for a long time after I had been hurt. So I put on this tough exterior, so that nobody would mess with me. But I began to believe my own story, I began to believe my own story that I don't care about anything. And that was leading me nowhere. So I had to take off the spiked leather jacket. Metaphorically, I still wear one. But I had to take that off. I had to take off that mask, that persona, unchain myself from that old part of me that had been hurt and now had this tough exterior on. I had to take all of that off so that I could allow Spirit to give to me, so that I could allow myself to transform into who I should be, someone who's a lot more gentle and soft. Wise, a lot smarter. I'm a lot smarter than I was back then. And I'm a lot stronger, fiercer, and protected as well than I was back then. But in a way that is, at peace and not worried all the time. Excited. And that's what Spirit wants for you too, Cancer. Okay? So any other advice for Cancer? For Cancers. 2 of Swords, 2 of Pentacles. Yeah, because I feel like you're in between. You're balancing the future you, or the you you're becoming, and then the old you. The one who maybe would put up with someone's bullshit. The one who would have a hard time doing the things they need to do. Whatever that old you was, you are no longer it. But like I was saying, maybe there is an attachment to that part of you for a reason. So my attachment was, I believed that's what kept me safe. And so it was hard for me to let go of that. And all the pain that made me into that character, all the trauma I went through, I was always thinking about it because I was pissed off about it. You know what I mean? But I felt like I had to carry that around with me so that I would protect myself. Because if I let that go, if I release myself, oh my God, maybe I'll get hurt again. No, you're not going to forget what happened. You've learned. You have the wisdom inside. Okay, so let's see the outcome in the next 3 months. And then I'm going to pull a closing oracle card. I am going to do an extended reading on this. The link for that is in the description box below. But if you don't like extendeds, you don't want to come there, or you can't, then just trust that you got the message that you needed right here. Oh, 9 of Pentacles. You're okay, Cancer. You're going to be amazing in the next 3 months. You got this. Look at you. This is somebody who is independent, who has faith and trust in themselves, who has found their place in the world. There's a big message about, I feel like Spirit just really wants you to trust yourself and know that you got this. And I feel like, there's a big time for shadow work and going into past traumas and looking at all that stuff. But it's not something that we need to do constantly. There's other things that we got to do out here in the world. And for some of you, you've been really going into these dark, deep places, which is so commendable and so brave, and it will serve you. But also know that it's okay to come back up for air. It's okay to enjoy things around you, to feel good, to not always have to be so self-reflective about every little thought you have. I mean, again, that can be good at times, but sometimes you need to just be in the 3D material world, grounded in your surroundings, enjoying life, the present moment, coming back into the present moment. Because when you come back into the present moment, that's when you see the path. And look, you're going down this path feeling fully equipped. So the next 3 months, there's something that's going to happen here in your life. It's probably created by you and your shift in your focus and your thoughts and your beliefs about yourself that is going to bring you some form of reassurance that you are exactly who you should be. You're heading towards that new self, and that you're totally supported. So you might come into some money, you might just feel better about yourself. You know, it's going to be different for each of you depending on what it is that will help support you. That's what Spirit gives us, what helps support us. Okay, and sometimes when we're in a place where we're like, what do you mean, Andy? Like, I got nothing, so Spirit doesn't want to support me. Okay, like, hold on a second there. Look at what you're saying. Sometimes we do need those setbacks. I just read, one of those cheesy quotes today. The comeback is always greater than the setback. Yeah, sometimes we do need those setbacks to have a huge comeback. 1 step backwards and then a million step forwards. So the tough lessons are always leading us to somewhere better if we allow them to. If we want to plant our feet in and say, nope, my life sucks and that's the way it is, and, I'm broke and I've been betrayed and I've been fired and then I've been heartbroken and now I'm a housing situation and nope, there's nothing coming for me, then that's your reality. Okay, and yeah, it can sound a little trite to say, change your mindset and all those things will suddenly resolve themselves. No, they won't suddenly resolve themselves. You'll have to do things about them. But what will change is the resolve that you have within yourself about your ability to overcome or go through those terrible, tough situations. And it will be easier for you to do it, to meet the challenges head on, no matter what, because it's your life. And I feel like Spirit is really saying, make the most of it, Cancer. You can do it. All right, let's pull out one more card and then we'll go into the extended. Let's see. Closing card for Cancer. Closing card for Cancer. We have Wheel of Fate, Safe Retreat. It says, make time to contemplate your next move. Yeah, I feel like some of you are moving, and where you're moving to is, or maybe it's a metaphorical move, but it's like a safer place where you don't always feel like you need to look over your back or take a spike out from your jacket. You know what I mean? Wheel of Fate. Look at this beautiful portal you're going through, Cancer. You are taking risks that could pay off. There is success in every failure. But know that there is success even in failure, is what it says. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what Spirit's saying. Okay, I love you so much. I'll see you next time.